On today's Project Comic-Con, we enter the virtual world of Tron Legacy, talk to Jim Lee about his Sony PSP giveaway, and ride along with the Green Hornet. Let's roll, Kato!
I love Tron.
Tron is going to be awesome.
Yeah, totally.
Congoers can't wait to return to the gaming grids of Tron, and we literally got to go behind the machine to talk to the stars of one of the most anticipated movies of the year. We asked producer Sean Bailey what his younger self would think about what he's doing today.
He's pretty excited, I have to say, to walk into Hall H, sitting next to Steven Lisberger. I saw the movie in Houston, Texas in the early 80s. It was a wide-eyed kid sitting next to my dad. And so to walk into Hall H with the creator of the original Tron, show some of the footage, have them respond like they did, actually put Hall H into the movie. That was a real thrill. So yeah, young Sean Bailey was pretty excited.
We could probably have made the first film the way it looked with the technology we have today in about an hour. But when you see what we're making now, it's so much more sophisticated, in some ways so mind-blowing, that we need more technology to make it even better.
First time I did it was black with a little piece of white tape saying that's the recognizer chasing you. Really? Okay. But it was really high tech. But that part of it hasn't changed a heck of a lot. That's still there. You're still fighting battles with little pieces of tape. But it requires an actor's talent and imagination to make that real.
The first Tron was ahead of its time conceptually, and I think the world's finally caught up with the ideas presented in that first movie. So it feels like the time is right, and it was a real honor to work on this film.
We caught up with legendary comic book creator Jim Lee to talk about his exclusive PSP giveaway at the con.
I was walking around the office and someone said, hey, can you draw on a PSP Go for Sony PlayStation to give away at the con? I said, sure. I've drawn on a lot of unique things before, like a megaphone, a motorcycle helmet, a Star Trek Enterprise model. So I knew that, it's a very varnished, very slick surface. But since I've done that before, actually I drew on a drum set that was very similar to that. I knew what materials to use. It's always fun to draw on something new for the first time, and that was definitely my first PSP. And I think they're giving away at the show to a random person that comes to the booth.
Supernatural shooter series Fear gets a threequel, and acclaimed horror comic writer Steve Niles tells us about bringing his ghoulish words to video games.
The main thing we wanted to do was follow up on what had been established in Fear 1 and 2, and specifically one of the focal points has been Alma. She's pregnant. The implications on the world are pretty staggering, being that she's a supernatural creature. But now they've also added co-op, so you can literally be playing with a friend and be in different areas of a building and be tracking, and the way they've structured it is that you can really play off each player's strengths. Just the experience of writing a video game is really interesting. I mean, it's completely different than writing a movie or a comic book or a novel or anything like that. It's probably the thickest script I ever wound up writing, because sometimes you have to come up with 10 things people will say or do.
I'm looking forward to the new Green Hornet, being a Green Hornet fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I knew that Seth Rogen was actually going to be playing the Green Hornet, I was very much excited.
The Green Hornet gets a makeover next year, and star Seth Rogen was on the scene to speak about his take on the classic superhero.
There was humorous elements to the show. Britt Reed made around 2 jokes an episode, I would say, in the original TV show, so it was exciting. It was an honor to remake such a television classic.
We just brought it back to the core and kick-ass is for the next generation. Kick-ass is fun and young and stuff. We're still fun and young, but we're not trying to make it real hip and new. We're just trying to make it cool, rock solid, classic. And that's kind of what we went for.
Well, that's it for day 2. Tomorrow on Project Comic-Con, we peek under the red hood and find out who is Spartacus.